Hola a todos y gracias por acompañarnos en un nuevo programa de El Mundo.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being with us on our show, The World. And this time we're going to talk about the coronavirus. We'll answer your comments. Dr. Leitman will answer your comments gladly. Dr. Leitman, in relation to what you say that humanity is responsible for this crisis, we got the following question. A viewer says, yeah, it's fine what you're saying, that it comes to teach us something positive, this virus, that it's something that we have to correct. And it's okay to see the positive side of things, but to think about nature as some brain that created this virus in order to correct us and put us in place, I don't think that that's the right way to look at things. And we needn't forget that
llega la peste para un castigo, como que si no hubiéramos evolucionado como humanidad.
There is also the matter of hygiene, and it doesn't come as some kind of punishment for... No. The virus is a biological creation, created as a result of disbalance on the biological level between all of its components. It's not that someone made it on purpose, or maybe that's also possible, but we see and we examine and we study it in different laboratories around the world. The problem is that because we're not balancing ourselves out on all of these levels, the still, vegetative, animate, human level, we are allowing nature by that to create such distorted forms, as if abnormal forms of connection, as if bad forms, which is a result of our attitude toward one another. We have to understand still, vegetative, and animate, and the highest level is the thought. We don't understand this, we don't know this, but man's thoughts, this is the biggest, strongest weapon, strongest force. It spreads, existing on all levels. If we use our thoughts in such a way that we are hostile toward each other, we act in that even on the still of the we influence even the levels of the still, vegetative, and the animate. It's already known that all of our actions, the good and the bad, they influence the whole of nature, both the nature of the still, the vegetative, and the animate. And if once we will have good relationships between us, human beings, will treat each other favorably, then also the wolf shall dwell with the sheep, with the lamb. But in the meantime, things are as they are. We have to further research nature, how much we, by our thoughts, brain waves, influence all of the levels of nature, the still, vegetative, and the animate, and what kind of distortions do we make there. So much so that by that we corrupt nature. Let's take a break, for example. After a month time or two, after we have a kind of brain truth all over the world, where we won't cause each other harm, we'll see how much nature will change if we make this kind of brain ceasefire. Like, not only that we'll see animals walking around in our parks, but we'll also see that they're friendly toward each other and toward people. We can examine these things. Only we're not interested. We're only running after benefiting off each other, living off each other, destroying nature. And then these viruses, they appear and are standing in line to be revealed to all of us. Many of the comments we have received, impressions that we got, are in this direction of saying that this virus is a weapon to create a new world order, and there are different interest groups behind it and international organizations. What do you think about this? They say that the reason is that they want to reduce the number of people in the world, to reduce the world population, the amount of people. That there are people that want more control over the general public. Of course, there are many people that want to control everyone. Any person wants to be king of the world. Everyone does. But the thing is that in the general politics, that there are so many directions, forces, desires, systems. Today, you don't have someone that can be in control. Also look at China, how it was harmed by this virus, how it will fall as a result, who'll buy what they're manufacturing, who'll go there, and so on. Meaning, these are things that today we're so interconnected around the world that what follows is that the bad that I caused to someone, it comes right back at me. And very quickly. And therefore, China will be harmed more than everyone. Just see. And therefore, I don't think that there's a point in thinking or talking about someone that's standing behind this and doing this or that. I know that nature has a plan. This plan is in order to bring us to identification with the whole of nature, for us to understand that we're all a part of one system, that we have to be friendly toward each other, interconnected. And by this connection, we will influence the connection in the rest of the parts of nature, in the still, and the vegetative, and the animate. In regard to that, suppose that it is a change that the entire world has to do, every person. But what they say here is that who are the people that are doing these wars, these catastrophes? The big multinational companies. So the solution is to change the method, as you say. But the system, it's controlled, and therefore those in power are the ones that have to make the change. They can't. Neither can you. Were you to manage some petroleum company or something, you couldn't turn things any other way, because around you there are other people with interests, there are different parties, there are different governments. No one can do it. This can be done only through worldwide education, for where we will all understand that we have no choice, and then mutually supporting each other will we be able to do it. You can't have some Napoleon that will jump up and do something today. Impossible. We'll kill him immediately. Who'll stand these things? Of course not. Any person who wants to make some kind of change, which are not for the benefit of crony capitalism, immediately he will be either bought or killed. It has to be a general kind of education for us to reach this kind of awareness and for all of us to be one general system. Many of the responses that we have received are in the same direction. And there's always a feeling that the ones that have to make the change are those that are controlling and are governing the country, or those people. We don't have the power, the ability to make a real change. So how can we change our thought in a way that we will understand that we can make a world change? So I'm telling you, if we'll get a worldwide education about how we're supposed to correctly be integrated with one another, correctly connected with the integral system of nature, only then will everyone understand that we have no choice and that the entire egoistic advancement is only to our detriment, and that by that we're destroying our existence, our foundation, and we will cause the appearance of many other such viruses that one by one will appear on the biological level and will completely destroy us. We have to understand that we have no choice but to cause the correct and right connection between us, and that we have to reach a state where, in similar to the still, the vegetative, and the animate, the human, the speaking level has to also be nicely interconnected, like all animals, plants, everyone, including everyone, nurturing themselves. And this is also how we have to be on the human level, and not just to spend the raw materials and pollute nature and burn forests and so on and so forth. We have to keep nature, to keep it in balance, and that we will be in balance so that none of us will take more than necessary from nature, but only what we need for our existence. And this virus is teaching us. Sit quietly and live more calmly. You have to get used to this, and then you will see how everything falls into place. We will sit all around the world in quarantine, that this virus will not allow us to leave home, and we will see how nature is becoming good, nice, beautiful. Animals will feel that everything as if is coming to life. Man is the most harmful part in nature that also harms himself. There are those that say that it's a pretty thought, and it sounds good and everything, but it's a kind of utopia. What would you tell these people? I say that it's not utopia. You sit at home, right? And if it's not enough, then this virus will increase and will give us such blows that we will really not be able to leave home. So much so, we'll only think that we'll have what to eat, and we don't need money either, by the way. Only some food, electricity, water, that's it. And to live quietly, because we have no choice. You see what this virus is doing to us, and nature has many more means of how to teach us to live in a way that we do not destroy nature. And this is how it's going to be. I really hope that we will learn quickly.
que realmente va a cambiar.
What we see as utopia is that a person will be better, that humanity will become better. This is what they see as utopia, because it's like you said, that there are the power groups that control the world, and it's not necessarily to their interest to educate or do something else. Where will the change come from, if so? From blows? From blows. From the mind or from blows, one of the two. What the mind doesn't do, time does. And therefore, I am sure that we will change. Man is weak, man is very sensitive. He receives a blow, that's it. He's willing to do everything not to suffer. And I see how people behave. They're ready for everything in order to stay alive. If they see death or some other possibility of staying alive without dying, of course, this is what they'll want. And of course, that it's not that bad, because it's all in all not to be such egoists towards one another. So nature will teach us. We have already entered such a time called the last generation, and therefore, for sure, we will advance toward a better, more uniform humanity. Of course, it won't all happen at once, but more and more people will understand as a result of these blows that we have to change our behavior. I wish. Thank you very much, Dr. Leitman. And see you on our next show. All the best.